Hey, it's Laura at Hyperstamper. I have a journal to show you today. It's actually a revamp of one I've done in the past, and I just added some more things to the cover to make it a little more wow. This is vintage book, and I love the teal design on the front here, so I added some ribbon that matched it and some vintage crochet doily and some lace, and I made a little pull here, tie around with that matching ribbon. And I added this vintage necklace. Actually, sorry, we can't tell if it's vintage or not. It's more than 20 years old, but less than 50. Let's put it that way. It was still in its little box, but it's really quite lovely. And I made it on this, it's under this little clasp, and you can remove it and wear it. It's quite lovely, actually. So that's, instead of putting the bangle at the side, I put it here in the center to match everything else, with the right colors on it. So this here is our journal flip through. This book is originally from 1946, called BF's Daughter. And I kept the original first pages in there. Here is a pocket here, and inside I put this awesome little pamphlet on Canada Dry's new party game. So Canada Dry Ginger Ale, and it's hilarious. A party book for adults. Yep, all kinds of fun games to play. Not the kind of party games for adults you might hear about today. And this is from 1939. Isn't that neat? I love it. And over here I've got a 1950s McCall's annual magazine page here on needlework. So we've got some needlepoint there and some weeding here. So that's a really pretty little insert there in that corner tuck pocket. Everything in here is authentic, antique and vintage ephemera. I don't do anything digitally or commercial wise. I do tea dye some papers, not a lot, just to give you some extra journaling space and art space. Here's a page from the 1940s children's book. And this is a page out of an old English garden book. And this beautiful vintage hanky linen, and it is brand new but old, so it was never used, it was never purchased, it was still in its original package. And another one of these wonderful magazine pages. And this here is a plate from an antique book. It's actually I want to say 1930s, early 1930s, on an American garden. And then we have some more cross-stitch pages here. A 1950s bingo card, which is kind of fun. You can journal on the back or just have it because it's awesome. A little journaling card here with a antique paper, which is a poem from a poetry book. More children's book pages that are sweet. A 1950s Theater Arts magazine page. And I just love this pocket I made out of an antique page. Toastmaster bread. Best ever tasted or toasted. And I just put a little booklet in here of all antique papers. And that's from the 1930s, that piece, French almanac, and just all kinds of fun little things, and a little vintage stamp on there as well. This is a 1920s scrapbook page. It's very brittle, so I didn't fold it, just tucked it in. And that is from 1906. And another little journaling envelope in here, blank on side, and a hidden paper clip there. You can remove that and move it around. A vintage bird book image here. And look at that, isn't that cool? I just love that, from the National Geographic. The Magic Garden page with these gorgeous illustrations the publisher did in this edition. Just absolutely lovely. And then this is a really cool vintage playing card. Never saw the King, Queen, and Jack with this beautiful design, much prettier. And a 1930s community chest from Monopoly. And that's just another blank antique page there from the book, BF's Daughter. I'll try to keep some of the original pages in. And look how cool is this. This is from 1877, and it is a retail liquor dealer's license. That is so cool. It's got the original signature, pen and ink there, and from the Internal Revenue, United States. I love it. It's a special tax receipt. That is very special. This here is the a piece of the box that a piano roll was in for a player piano. And when I took it apart, I thought it's just too beautiful to throw away. So I turned it into a tag. And in this little pocket here is a canasta score sheet, vintage, and just a pretty little piece of a dictionary there, Goodwill, and a children's how-to book, activity book, and a little doily pocket here I made. And this is the Department of Mines bulletin, the Canadian mining companies, and to all good Irishmen in general. So sweet. A vintage recipe, full color page with some baked goods there. Yikes. And this is from Freckles from 1904. I love that book. And 2 Pearl Shops vintage receipts there. I made this little flowered antique paper and a vintage dictionary page and a Newfoundland, vintage stamp there. Another one of those activity pages. This is really cool. This came from 1926, and it was a school book where they would practice their cursive writing. So I really think that's cool. And on the other side is shorthand practice. You can see here exercise 1, exercise 2. Isn't that neat? I love it. This is from an antique wallpaper border, and that would have been rolled painted. So each piece painted individually. And I actually just got more of that from my sister, so I'm excited to start using it again. So here is a blank 1920s ledger sheet for journaling, a vintage stamp down there. This is an antique book page here from the early 1900s and an Italian lessons book. And I love that the student wrote things in it. I love that so much. There is an antique print here and here. And a early 1900s music booklet, and this was in 1929. So this piece is called Dream Mother. So if you're looking for a Christmas present for a mom, that's a pretty cool one. Another print there. More of that. Oh, that's so cool. They just went right across the page, I guess, and did the same letter like for 5 lines. Yikes. And I think that brings us to the end. Yeah. So this is going to go on Etsy momentarily. It's hyperstamper.etsy.com, and there's another one coming up shortly, and I hope to see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe.